I'm Regina. Have you noticed there are some truly rude and self-centered folks out there? They seem to have a big chip on their shoulder, like other people are out to get them, or we are an inconvenience to them. They drive aggressively, honk the split second the light turns green, are hostile with pedestrians crossing the street, or they wait until the light is just about to change before they start walking across. They leave the shopping cart behind other cars, expecting someone else to take care of it. They throw trash and cigarette butts in the gutter and have their heads buried in their iPhone to the point they are oblivious to anything or anyone around them. There seems to be many people who only care for what they want, where they are going, how fast they need to get there, and what they're doing. We have an affectionate phrase for people who behave in defensive, self-centered, rude, arrogant, aggressive, frustrating, and irresponsible ways, only caring about themselves and about getting what they want when they want it. We call them assholes, ladies and gentlemen. But just who are these mysterious assholes who are wreaking havoc in our lives and who are teaching our children to behave like rude, self-centered little jerks? You and me, ladies and gentlemen. We're leading by example, and the time has come to step up because the standard of acceptable behavior we are setting is not one that will allow our children to thrive in the world we are leaving to their attention. So, as a recovered asshole, I volunteer to call us on our bad behavior. As a reformed, self-centered jerk, I have the authority to speak on how transforming my inner asshole completely changed my life and the lives of those I meet each and every day for the better. Several years before road rage became a popular description for those who express themselves in this negative manner, I had an especially important encounter. I was driving along and noticed a car speeding up behind me on the interstate. I was in the center lane. The lanes on either side of me were totally empty. In no time, the car was upon me. The driver began honking. After a few seconds, he moved his car into the left lane, came alongside me, and gestured with a rude hand signal. Then he sped up, got in front of me, and slowed down. Irritated by his rude behavior, I honked and returned the hand signal. Then he moved back into the left lane, came alongside me, and flipped me the bird again with more anger. I got scared. Fear for my safety caused me to seek a quick end to the exchange. Moving into the right lane, I took the first exit. He followed. I pulled into a parking lot, found an open space in front of a small store, and I rushed inside. He got out of his car and trailed me. I moved rapidly to the back and hid behind some tall shelves. The store was filled with female customers. He stood out, and after a minute, he left. Both relieved and furious, I wanted the police to haul him off, lock him up, and throw away the key. As I drove away, I was completely focused on the man's actions. I didn't once question my irresponsible behavior. But seriously, let's be honest here. Who was the asshole? Was it the rude and aggressive man who flipped me the bird? After all, he started it. Or was it me because I chose to stoop to his primitive, self-centered, judgmental, and rude behavior? The truth is, we both behaved like jerks. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a bad person, but each time I lose it and react to the rude, defensive, aggressive, thoughtless, or irresponsible behavior of others, I am also deserving of the title asshole. So today I want to inspire you about the power you and I have to truly change the world for the better. We rise above by refusing to stoop to the negative behavior of others with the idea we have to defend our pride or point out their bad actions to teach them a lesson. The truth is, we cannot get other people to see they're behaving badly or to own their behavior. Yeah, it's easy for you and me to point the finger of blame in another person's direction. It's easy for us to demand that people who behave rudely or who inconvenience us or who treat us disrespectfully are entirely at fault. Sure, there's some people who think nothing of how their actions negatively impact others. But we have to be honest about ourselves, with ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. We can no longer pass the buck. If we ego react in negative and rude ways to defend our pride or in an unrealistic attempt to teach other people a lesson, we've just slipped into asshole mode ourselves. We can't continue to point the finger of blame with they started it. when we have chosen to participate to keep the blame and aggression train growing, to create our best life and to help our precious children learn to create their best lives too. We cannot wait for others to transform into more responsible and courteous people before you and I step up. The man on the highway behaved like an asshole. He was irrational, angry, and aggressive. But I was innocent until I chose to give him the bird in some ego-crazed attempt to defend myself or show him how stupid he was acting. The truth is, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be inconvenienced and treated rudely at times by others. But the bottom line is that we gain nothing positive from lowering ourselves to how someone else chooses to behave. Unless we or another form of life is in immediate physical danger, ego boxing is bringing the same level of irresponsible behavior to the circumstance. No matter how loudly our mind screams its justifications, if we stoop to the level of behavior others choose for themselves, we're going to be disappointed in ourselves. I know, too often we're worried other people will see us as turning the other cheek as weak. Seriously. So what if assholes think we're weak for refusing to engage with them? We're actually the strong ones. Remember the wisdom of Albert Einstein? No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. That means reacting to an asshole by behaving like an asshole is never going to work out like our egocentric pride tells us that it will. We have to bring a higher level of awareness, ladies and gentlemen, because treating other people as we want to be treated does not mean waiting for them to go first. To create a peaceful and loving life, you got to take the lead. Walk away. Refuse to engage. Yeah, the asshole may think you're weak. But again, why do you care what an asshole thinks? It's not possible to reason with unreasonable people, ladies and gentlemen. So anyone who is strong enough to walk away, who chooses not to stoop to the negative and immature behavior, is the strong one. It takes great strength to walk away. It takes self-respect, self-love, and self-control to admit that being an ass is a bad choice. We always have another choice. So join me and let's change the world for the better. Be someone who leads the way by refusing to ego box. Teach yourself and your children how to deal with anger and frustration, that behavior of others that's inconsiderate. Teach them to do it in healthy ways, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot change other people, but you sure can be an example of how life works best. As a recovered asshole, trust me, and focus on you, because refusing to ego box allows you to walk away peaceful and proud of yourself, which are two important ways to love yourself. Daddies, don't let your babies grow up to be assholes. Mommy, you have the same responsibility too. Join me, and let's bring a higher level of awareness to the planet. Refuse to engage with assholes, and we'll make those who truly behave like jerks really stick out. And you know what? Once they realize they're all alone, they're going to come over to our side. Until next time, stay blessed and no ego boxing.